welcome back to day 7 of our Halloween horror countdown. We're counting down the top 31 horror anthology films of all time as selected randomly from our cauldron of terror here. We've got all these little pumpkins in here, so I'm gonna grab one and see what tonight's movie is gonna be. Tonight we're looking at another Amicus film. Can't beat Amicus, I tell you. The House That Dripped Blood. Made in 1971 by Amicus Studios, this was directed by Peter Duffel. It features 4 stories written by Robert Bloch, as well as a linking story about a house that is central to each tale. Scotland Yard is investigating a disappearance and question a real estate agent about the house. They are told the following stories connected to it. The first story is called Method for Murder. A writer, played by Denham Elliott, moves into the house and is visited by the central character of his own horror story, Dominique, played by Tom Adams. The second story is called Waxworks. Peter Cushing plays a man who becomes obsessed with a wax figure of a woman in a local wax museum. The third story is called Sweets to the Sweet. Christopher Lee plays a recently widowed man who hires a nanny to help care for his daughter, played by Chloe Franks. However, he is very strict, refusing to let her play with dolls of any sort, with good reason, it turns out. The final story is called The Cloak. Actor Paul Henderson, played by John Pertwee, seeking authenticity in his latest vampire film, buys a cloak from an antique store that grants him unique powers. However, his co-star in the film, played by Ingrid Pitt, doesn't seem surprised in the least. Amicus always delivered with their anthologies, and this was no exception. They were clearly having fun making this one too. At one point, John Pertwee's character mentions how he loves the old films, like Dracula, the one with Bela Lugosi, not this new fella, referring, of course, to Christopher Lee. Lee can be seen at one point reading from a book, which is his own personal copy of The Lord of the Rings, a favorite of his. And, of course, he would go on to appear in the big-budget version of the Peter Jackson films later in his career. Funny thing about The House That Dripped Blood, there is, in fact, not a drop of blood on screen in the entire film. Alright, so that was The House That Dripped Blood. Man, I tell you, I love this movie. So much so that back when my show, Creature Feature, was on the air here in Nashville on the CW station, I went to my program director and I said, hey, Mike, if you get a chance to, if you ever see this pop up on the list, because we had a list of movies we'd get every so often that we could choose from. I said, if you ever see The House That Dripped Blood, I'd love to show that. And sure enough, the next time the cycle came around, this movie was on the list. I couldn't believe it. And what was even better, and what made me think to ask him for it, besides the fact that I love the movie, is that we were broadcasting on May 26th, from late night May 26th into early morning May 27th. Well, May 26th is Peter Cushing's birthday, and May 27th is Christopher Lee's. So I actually hit both their birthdays with the broadcast. So that was pretty cool. We were able to host it on both Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee's birthday. Well, that's it for this week, and I just dropped my DVD. Be sure to join me back here tomorrow night, where we will take a look at another one of these horror anthology films. And until then, I'll see you guys back here in the lab.